G'day viewers, I thought now was a good time for a little bit of story time. Now for the more recent subscribers and viewers who may not have seen a story time before or want to know the difference between a story time video and a normal video, when I do most of my videos having a bit of fun, when I tell you stories about things that happened to me, it's not that they're untrue, it's more that they're true in the Hollywood sense. More often they're inspired by a true story. They will be based on real events that happen, and sometimes to protect the innocent or the guilty, I'll change names, locations, genders of people, and even time shift it by a couple of years. When I say something happened to me at work today, it may actually mean this was something that happened a couple of years ago. Really to cover my ass. But story time are literally true stories, and they're usually far enough in the past that I can get away with it. So for today's story time, I thought I'd tell you of the time when I actually sat down with some Scientologists. It was quite a while ago when I was living in Sydney, my post-student days. So I was poor as a mofo. I was totally broke. I think I had just over 20 bucks in the bank, and I was looking for an ATM so I could actually take it out and have my last few dollars. And I bumped into this guy doing a pull on the street. Anyone who's been caught by them will know that's the first step Scientologists take. They ask you a few questions about you. What would you like to improve about yourself, and a few other things. And after answering the questions, the guy said, would you like to find out some more? You can come with me. And I thought, I'm unemployed with nothing to do. Why not go with a random stranger? So I wandered off with him, and he wouldn't tell me where we were going. It turns out we're going to Scientology to take the personality test. And I figured, oh, why not? I've heard of this, but I've never actually done it, so I'll give it a go and see what it's like. Now, it's really long. It takes ages to go through the whole thing. It's multiple choice, and that's the first thing. People who know cults will tell you. The first thing is to actually start to get you tired and bored. The longer they've got you there, the more your resistance is going to be worn down. This goes for anyone. Cult, a real estate salesman, anyone who wants to lower your resistance will keep you going for as long as possible to wear down your resistance. Now, I looked at the questions, and they were honestly very creepy. They seem to me, and I've seen this reinforced elsewhere, but they seem to me to be geared to find out what you were insecure about. Now, if someone genuinely wants to help you, of course, that's the sort of stuff they need to know, the things that really trouble you. But if someone wants to pull a scam and manipulate you and get the better of you, well, quite simply, that gives them an inroad to do it. If you answer their questions honestly, they will know how to mess with you and manipulate you. So, I can't say it strongly enough. It's actually an extraordinarily bad idea to do the Scientology personality quiz, because it's designed to find out how to get into your head and mess with you. Even seeing that, I thought, why not? You know, I'm going to go through this, see what they say. I'm going to answer truthfully. I actually went through and answered truthfully about, what I was happy about, what I wasn't happy about, just to see what they were going to say to me at the end. I was quite intrigued. So I went through with it. It took ages. It took them ages to come back with the results, and they spend this whole time telling you how great they are and all these things they're going to do. And so, I'm waiting, and it comes through, and the guy shows me the results, and there was 5 or 6 classifications in there, and they had levels of low, normal, and high, how well you rated. And of course, you take all the Dianetics courses, they'll have you at the top of all of them. But anyway, here's my uncultured results. And for a couple, I was in the high range of normal, which is, hey, that's nice. But with a couple of the others, like half or slightly more than half of the things they said are important, my score was near the bottom. I don't think he was expecting my response, which was to burst out into hysterical laughter. Because my only impulse is, if somebody could actually be that fucked up to score that lowly, I mean, they'd be on the verge of suicide. They were literally saying I was incapable of surviving, and yet I was surviving really quite well, thank you very much. And I just couldn't stop laughing. And the guy's going, "Oh, this is serious." I went, "No, it isn't. It's all over for me. I'm just going to go out the door now and jump off the harbour bridge." And I think the fact that I just didn't take it remotely seriously was really hard for him. And he just kept saying how much they could help me. And I went, "Well, no, I'm not interested. Don't worry about it." He's going, "Oh, but it's so simple." I said, "Look, man, even if I was interested, I have no money." And he's going, "Oh, it doesn't have to be that expensive. You can put a down payment on." I go, "I'm not joking. I've got about $20 in the bank. When I saw you, I was looking for an ATM to get my last few dollars." And he's going, "Oh, no, just a down payment." It gets to the point they just want to get their hooks into you. If they can get even $5, $10, $20 from you, it's like you've put a down payment on and you're going to be more committed to paying more. He was determined to not let me go, despite the fact all common sense said this was not a goer. This guy wouldn't let me go. And so he's going on, and on and on for another 20 minutes. From the get-go, I said, "No, not going to happen." And for 20 minutes, he just kept going. And I just kept saying, "No." And eventually, I got sick of it and went, "Look, this is not going to happen. You're just not listening to me. I'm going now." And I pushed my seat back. And then there was the interesting thing that I noticed, the way the interview room was set up. This guy's seat was between me and the door. And when I pushed my seat back to get up, he stood up and stood between me and the door, which was really confronting for a second. Now, there are two ways you can react when someone confronts you like that. One is to back down and let them have their way. The other is to out-confront them. Guess which way I went? The guy's standing between me and the door. And I mean, he kept stepping between me and the door when I went to step around him. And I just lost it. My voice was fairly calm, but pretty direct. And I just said, "You need to step away from the door. If you don't let me out that door now, you're going to regret what happens next." And I think that I basically had to threaten to smack the guy in the fucking mouth to get him to show any respect to me. And at that point, he realised that he couldn't get me, and so he stepped aside and let me go. So that's my story, my true life encounter with the Scientologists that told me a couple of really important things. One is their test is designed to do nothing but to find out how they can manipulate you and how susceptible you are. Two is they are extremely high pressure. They do not take no for an answer. And three, and the overarching point, don't talk to these people. They are creepy, they are dangerous, they want to manipulate you. I know that from first-hand experience. I never got sucked down their particular black hole. There are a million stories online of people who got sucked down for years, had complete mental breakdowns, had their lives ruined. So that's the simple message from this story time, guys. Scientologists, don't trust them. All they want to do is take complete control of your life. See you soon.